it was kind of perfect, like, because like since I was a kid, I've seen photos of beaches like that, like with this clear blue water and white beaches. Like you feel like it's just a fantasy, but then you go there, and everywhere you looked, there was beaches like that and water like that. Yeah, it's really hard to describe the feeling that gave. And then, of course, seeing the Angel Waterfalls. Like we stayed there for 2 nights in a camp, and always looking and seeing that waterfall like across the river. It was really unreal. Yeah, like the word paradise, like this is what it means to me. Like this is what I see when I hear the word paradise. It's just Los Roques. It's amazing. And I don't know if people have thought much about Venezuela as a destination like this before, but seeing all this like changes people's mind, of course, of like this is really a place to go to. It's just beautiful places, wonderful people, amazing people. That's kind of what I noticed the most. It's like everywhere I went, yeah, it was like, I mean, the landscapes are beautiful and everything is beautiful, but I met so many kind and welcoming people that I think that sticks out. It's the people of Venezuela.
Hola a todos y bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio de este podcast en la mente del viajero. Hoy me acompaña Ale de Islandia y nos va a comentar hoy cómo fue su experiencia en Venezuela. Así que vamos a conocer un poco sobre la vida de Ale, cómo fue crecer en Islandia y cómo llegó a este país del Caribe del que hoy se habla mucho, pero no todos saben qué hay en Venezuela. Así que con Ale vamos a ver una Venezuela distinta, una Venezuela a través de los ojos de un islandés. So, thank you very much, Ale, for being here. Welcome to En la mente del viajero.
Thank you for the invite.
That's great to have you. Let's start at the beginning. What was
All right.
like growing up in a small village? Because you told me that you grew up in a 800 village, right,
Yeah,
in Iceland. So how was it for you?
I think it was a lot of freedom, like being a kid in a town like that. Like at that time, there was no tourism in Iceland, so we were just on our bikes on the main roads. Um, we were biking like at 10 years old, biking to a waterfall and jumping into the waterfall. And today, there's so much traffic here, so and that waterfall is really popular. It's one of the most photographed waterfall and mountain in Iceland. So
Yeah, tell us what part of Iceland are you from?
yeah, yeah, it's the west side of Iceland. So it's a peninsula
Mhm.
called Snæfellsnes,
Mhm.
uh, with kind of like only mountains, and then it's the ocean. So we played a lot in the mountains and then down by the ocean.
And there you have
So
this
yeah,
popular mountain that you said, right? How it is called?
yeah, Kirkjufell. Uh,
Okay.
so
Also, I
that's
forgot,
yeah.
sorry. How is your
Huh?
name? How is your full name?
Like a full name?
Yeah,
My full name is Aðalsteinn Valur Gretarsson.
Ađalsteinn. Okay.
Yes.
Now I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, at that time you didn't have that many tourists as you have today, right? How was it for
Mm.
you? How did this shape the way you saw Iceland at that time, and how do you see it now, right?
It's like when I was a kid, it was just normal. Like, um, you didn't experience it as anything special or something like that. It was just the mountains. You could play there, and you could play by the ocean, and you could just go everywhere without worrying about anything. Even though I think like we're probably doing some things that would be considered dangerous today for a kid to do. But yeah, we learned a lot about nature and everything around us from that time.
That's great.
Uh,
And speaking of the 800 people village, how did it shape this the way that you are and you see the world today? I mean, you grew up in a very small village, and
uh,
yeah, how was it?
it's like it's a small community. Like everybody knows each other, so
Mhm.
It's kind of like a, I don't know, growing up in a really big family. Like you know everybody, everybody knows you. There's a lot of gossiping, like people are talking this shit about somebody or whatever. uh,
That is an
but
international thing.
yeah, yeah. So it was always like that, um, and people like, but still you feel the community. Like if something bad happens, everybody come together and help out. Like
Mhm.
if there's an accident, everybody come and help out, and there's like a. I think even though people talk bad about each other or whatever, you can hear, or like somebody is arguing. Like in the end, everybody wants the best for everybody. It's like,
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay, and
oh,
you also mentioned in a previous conversation that we had that about this deep connection to nature and wildlife. Tell us about how photography and also stargazing became part of your work.
yeah. I was first interested in learning about the stars and the universe and like the night sky. Uh, and that's kind of how I got into getting a camera. Like first I got a telescope because I wanted to see the planets and see the nebulas and galaxies. But soon I realized that you couldn't see the details of the galaxies or the nebulas with the naked eye through a telescope. So I started studying about that, and then I saw you needed a camera to be able to see that more. So that was kind of like falling into a black hole. It's like opened up a whole new world, like how far you can get. So I had to get a camera, and then I realized my telescope wasn't good enough for that. So I had to get another. And like I think I spent probably 2 years just trying to get more and more into astrophotography. And then when I saw how really expensive that can get, I decided like, oh, it's a time to stop. But I already started using my camera for more things like nature and of course the Northern Lights because,
Mhm.
and then for concerts and people and tried to find my own way of using the
Yeah.
camera and exploring with that.
And now that you do photography as a professional, right?
Uh, Once in a while, like I get some projects and I do them and I really enjoy that. Even though my main job is like it is in construction, like buildings and stuff like
Mhm.
that. That's like my main
Okay.
job, and then mm, like photography is something that I enjoy doing. And if somebody asks me to do a project, then
Passion.
of course, yeah.
And
So
you don't only take photographies in the nature, but you only have like a specific niche, right? You do it for singers and
yeah,
I believe rock and
like a
metal
like
bands.
yeah, like rock music. I
Okay.
like really enjoy that. Like I have always been into music all my life, and especially like rock and metal music. And I know a lot of the artists, so I just started to go to the concert and bring my camera. And then somehow I always wanted to be better at that, do more
Mhm.
and do more, and kind of like, yeah,
That's
it's,
great. We will show your pictures
yeah,
later for people
you.
to see. Okay, that's great. Then, in speaking of the Northern Lights, how was
Mhm.
like experiencing the Northern Lights regularly as a child? And at what point did you begin to see it differently?
So the Northern Lights have always been like, for me, it's just part of the night sky. Uh, so I can't even remember the first time I saw them because they've kind of always been there.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's just like a faint green line in the sky, and it doesn't feel like much for me at least. Uh, but then there are the times when they are really strong and they start dancing around the sky and different colors and everything lights up, and you can never get like used to that. It's always
Mhm.
amazing to see it. And when I got the camera, like I started viewing it differently. Like you start to
Mhm.
find some spots and you stay out whole nights or driving to some special spots to get the right foreground. And that kind of yeah, we started doing like a Northern Light hunting. So we drive around, and then of course, like viewing it through like foreign friends that are coming to see it for the first time. That's for me. That's a big experience. Like uh, kind of like viewing it through other people's eyes. Like
Yeah, exactly.
you see them and how they are like seeing something that is kind of normal for me, and you kind of
Mhm.
appreciate it more and more. So
Yeah,
I
then
read,
you realize it's not that normal in the
yeah,
rest
yeah,
of
and
the
you
world.
kind of, yeah, you kind of get the boost like of the wow factor, like how amazing it looks. So
Wow.
so yeah,
And can say the same, for example, for us in Venezuela that grew up with the Caribbean Sea. So we have other
yeah,
otherwise with this
exactly.
situation. So it's interesting to see this, right? Because sometimes we can take for granted something that we are used to, but when we
Yeah,
see the contrast by traveling to another part of the world or looking when someone sees different than us, it's like
mhm,
why? And then we start appreciating it more.
exactly. Like that's probably the same like for people seeing the Northern Lights as it was for me to see like this blue color in the Caribbean. It's
Yeah.
always like every country has its own thing.
And we need to appreciate it because
Yeah,
someday maybe we
yeah,
won't be
it's
there
like
to see it.
yeah. So enjoy what you can. It's always like that.
That's great. That's great. And also, Iceland carries a strong cultural legacy, right? Speaking of
Mhm.
Viking story and so on, how present is that cultural identity in your life or when you were a child?
Yeah, it's like I think most people relate to the like the Viking times.
Mhm.
Even though that was like a lot of people were just farmers, they weren't going like to go to Viking is like going somewhere and rob and do all these bad things that Vikings did. But it was the Viking times, so we learned about that really young in school, about the first the king of Norway and the settlers that came here for the first time, and then the guys that went from Iceland and found Greenland and America. So they
Wow.
came from here to there. Uh, so we learn about that. We learn about the battles. There were kind of like Viking battles between families in Iceland in the first days. So a lot of people connect to that uh,
Well,
heritage.
we have a lot of series now that speak about the Viking story, so that
Yeah.
is that is also part of the tourism in Iceland. I can say now because many people would like to see right the all the landscapes we see
Hmm.
through these
Yeah.
series and so.
Yeah. I mean, there are groups here that have like a Viking, I don't know what to call it, clubs or something like that, and they meet up and they fight with real swords and shields
Nice.
and they make all the clothes like the Vikings did. So they meet a few times a month and they do battles and then they go like I know people that go to Norway and to Denmark and meet like these Viking people from everywhere else in Europe and they clash between them and do like exhibition fights. That's really, really interesting. So they do like festivals. And there's like in Iceland, there's always once a year, every summer, there's one festival. Can't remember if it's a week or a weekend. So where they just camp like Vikings and then they fight and show fights and make food like they did and
Speaking of the food, let's talk about the food in Iceland.
yeah.
I went to your country like 2 years ago, and I didn't like it all. The food. I mean, it was like shark and
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know something like that. But
Yeah.
tell me about the traditional food in Iceland.
So the I don't like it personally. like the like the fer like the
I mean,
fermented
I
shark.
didn't want to be disrespectful, but yeah,
No,
it's
but
not
like
that
for
good.
me, it's not for me. Like there's always once a year there's a festival for that kind of food where people meet up and it's like they have all that food. There's like a fermented shark, which is like a really
Mhm.
strong taste,
Yeah, no,
and
of course.
it's what people did like hundreds of years ago, and the reason the food is like that, it was like a way of storage the food. So
Yeah.
they had to put it in salt and put it in like the fermented shark. You can't eat this kind of shark without doing some process that takes a
Yeah.
year because otherwise it's poisonous. So
Yeah.
like this is like all kinds of old traditions. Some people really like it, but it's not for me.
For me neither.
No, no, I think people have to grow up with it to like it, like at home. So
Okay, let's get into your first international trip. What was your first one, and did truly shift your perspective about Iceland and also on yourself, right? Because it was your
yeah,
first one. Where did you travel?
like I remember
Mhm.
when I was 14 first, and that was me and my friend. We went to Denmark to visit his older sister. So we had to fly like 14 and 15-year-olds to Denmark, and we had to stay in Copenhagen for a whole day before we could go to the village she was living in. And that kind of opened probably eyes, and it was really exciting to be like 14 and 15-year-old going like flying to Europe by ourselves and staying in Copenhagen for a day by ourselves. Like we felt so adult. and uh and it kind of opened up the eyes that it isn't that hard. Like it's something I can do. I can travel. And
Yeah.
I think after that, we started going to music festivals. Like when I was 17, 18, we started just flying to England, flying to Denmark just to go for music festivals. But what opened my eyes most was when I first flew out of Europe. And I went to a friend of mine was living in Bahrain in the Middle East. So I decided to go there and visit. Uh, and that's like a completely different culture. It was like I remember coming there and it was kind of intimidating, like because I didn't know how
Yeah,
to
it is.
react or behave or what to eat or anything.
Mhm.
So because my friend was living there for some time, she kind of showed me around, and it took some time to get used to like being there.
Yeah,
Um,
right. What about the language? Because now you speak English, but was that normal in Iceland growing up learning another language?
English is kind of like I think most people can speak English here. Like
Ah, okay.
it's because like most of the stuff you see in TV, it's always on English. Everything is straight just English.
Okay, it's great.
So kids learn that from a really young age. Uh, like
Mhm.
like my nephews that are like when they were 2 years old, they started speaking Icelandic and English kind of on the same time because of what they're hearing in the
Right.
TV or YouTube or but yeah, then when you go to countries when you can only speak English, but nobody else can speak English, that's also a really intimidating.
Yeah, it is.
Like in the Middle East when I went there first, like sometimes it was just sign languages, like you're just pointing or trying to figure like get to a common ground. But I went from there, from Bahrain, I went to Oman and
Mhm.
spent some days alone. And there I met like a taxi driver that was uh he spoke English, and he said he had another car and he could drive me wherever I wanted. So he kind of showed me different side of Oman. Like he took me to the countryside and we went into a
That's great.
canyon where we could swim. And so that was like my first eye-opening experience of going somewhere other than Europe.
And what can you say that you learned about you and traveling
Mm.
alone to different country, cultural environment, and so on?
It was for me it was like I can like even though I'm like scared of it or intimidated, like you can't just go there and figure out, like things will kind of sort themselves out. Like when you get into a certain situation, like you can always find a way out. So or way to get deeper in, or if you want to see it like that, uh, because no matter where you are, you can always meet some good people, or that can help you out. Like most people are willing to help and and
Yeah.
and show people around. So
Yes, I agree. People is kind out there. I mean, you have everything, right? But most of the time, we have kind
yeah,
people out there.
yeah. I mean, you kind of have to learn to read the situations and what's around you. Like most,
Hmm.
yeah, my experience is most people are good, even though
Yeah.
you hear news about this. Like the news only say the bad things about each place, but when you
Yes.
experience it,
They say
it's
that when you are from a cold country as yours, they are cold or act like cold, but it's not like that. I mean, you have everything, obviously, but
Mm,
when I went to your country, people were so nice, so kind, and
mm.
open-minded. So, yeah, you need to go and see it yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, Nordic people are known for being a little closed, and
Mhm.
that's. I mean, I've seen that also. We have a hard time to communicate in different ways, but when you
Yes.
when you get to know people everywhere, it's all about, if you show respect, people show respect to you.
Yes,
So
exactly. Yes,
so
yes. And eventually you made it to South America, right? So how was for you to come to South America and also specifically to Chile? But
yeah,
things didn't go as planned, right, in there.
no, no, that
So let's go deep into your travel to Chile, and
okay,
because that brings us today here, because there
yeah.
was where you meet Diana, your partner today.
Hmm.
So tell us about Chile. How was it for you? You were traveling alone and you went to Patagonia. Tell us the
Hmm.
story.
Yeah. So uh, I had planned to go to Chile for 3 months, I think. And I had a travel partner, and we were planning to go like on a road trip and go to Torres del Paine to do the hike, and then a music festival. But when it came closer to flying to Chile, I lost the contact to the travel partner,
Hmm.
and the partner had all the tickets and reservations and everything. So I got really, really stressed about
Yeah.
what is going to happen. Uh, but I went through with it, and I remember like on the day when I was supposed to fly out, I had no plan and didn't know if I would get the reservation or the concert tickets or anything.
Wow.
Uh, I like it's the first time I felt stressed like that. Like I think I even went to the bathroom and threw up because of stress. I was like
Yeah.
still
Yes.
going through. Uh, but earlier that year in Iceland, I met a girl that was traveling alone in Iceland, and she kind of, yeah, my mom kind of took her in. So she was staying with my family, and I got to know her through that, and I took her with me like hiking and showed her around. Uh, so before I went to Chile, I told her like what was going on. And she was like, no problem. Like, don't worry about it. I'll pick you up at the airport and you can just
Oh,
come and stay with my family until
how
you
nice
figure
of
out.
her.
Yeah. So that was like, that eased my mind so much. Like, she just came to the airport when I arrived and picked me up. I went to meet her mom and her siblings and stayed with them for 3 days.
So
Uh,
important to have someone local showing
yeah,
you
yeah.
around, and yeah, it gives you a lot of confidence and you
Mhm.
feel more safe, obviously, when you are with someone.
Yeah. Like when your mind is like you don't know anything how to get out of this situation, but it kind of like I arrived at their house and uh, I could start thinking like kind of just go to ground zero, like thinking where to go next. So it was, yeah, I'm really grateful for having meeting her and everything she did for me. Um,
Nice. Yeah, you
yeah,
traveled to Patagonia, right? And how was for you as a photographer as well to see this natural beauty of the world, right? One of the wonders,
it's,
natural
it's
wonders.
It was amazing. Like because I've seen photos of Torres del Paine, the towers, so many times, but I did like a 8-day hike through the area, and I had never done more than a 3-day hike before. So planning was all stressful and like I didn't know what to do. I was alone with 20 kilos on my back in the beginning.
Wow.
Uh, but as soon as I started the hike, like I was alone in the beginning, and then I always met more and more people, and
Yeah.
you meet so many like-minded people on the hike, and in the end, uh, I made so many friends from the United States, from Brazil, from all around the world, just and
Nice.
that kind of I think that what gives you more. And I mean, of course, the landscape is beautiful, but meeting the people and learning about other cultures and other people and just share something, see what you have in common.
Yes. Yes, it's beautiful. And luckily you have people from all around the world so you can share experiences and that
Yeah.
journey, that travel, because it's really hard to do this hiking. Did you do
Mhm.
like the 5
No,
days
the
hiking?
8 days, I think it was
8 days.
7 or 8 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe that was the O or the W, right?
The O.
The O. Wow, that is
Yeah.
the hardest one.
Yeah, it was like uh, in my mind, it was like if I'm going there, I'm gonna do the whole thing. So like I have
Oh,
to. But
how
yeah, like
brave of you.
I mean, in the end, like the last day, I was like limping. My legs were so done, and my knees
Yeah,
were over. Like,
I can imagine. But it was worth it, right? Because this is
oh
one of the most beautiful landscapes in the world.
yeah, it's probably one of the best decision I've made just to go with it.
And also, Ale, here people from South America, we used to see Europe as the dream, right? To see like,
Mhm.
wow, Europe and had so many landscapes and so, but so many people in South America don't know about the beauties, our own beauties. For example,
Yeah,
Patagonia, but
it's
in the Caribbean as well, and in
Mhm.
Brazil you have
Oh
also
wow, yeah.
many many beautiful landscapes, Bolivia,
Mhm.
Uruguay, and so on. I mean, we have landscapes. What is the
I
message that you would like to share with people here in South America about our landscapes?
mean, it's probably similar to what I have. Like you're always looking so far away without looking what you have around you. Like for me, Iceland was never anything special or anything when I was growing up. I always saw like what I see in the photos from some abroad or like really far away. Like you want to go as far as you can because there everything is more beautiful. But sometimes you just have to stop and look around you. I think that's I mean
Message.
for for me now the best place to go is just the highland of Iceland. Like I feel like every time I go there, it's like completely different planet, and I can kind of shut down everything else in the world. It's just I'm just there. So
Yeah.
sometimes you don't have to go too far, and in South America, like every country has things that I would love to travel to. Uh,
Yes, exactly. For example, as you said, in the highlands is another planet. Here in Argentina, for example, where I live right now, we also have Salta, and so many canyons and
Oh
in
yeah.
landscapes that it seems like it's another planet as well. It seems like
Mhm.
Marte or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I also agree with you. We don't need to go that far to see the beauty of our world,
It's
and we can take for granted our own landscapes and on our own continent. Iceland is a very interesting place because you have two tectonic plates, I
Mhm.
believe, and you have
Yeah.
like half of half your continent is America and half your continent is Europe. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
right?
The tectonic plates, and you can go to a place where you can walk in between them, like you can see how it's ripping up. And I can't remember how many. It gets wider by some centimeters per year, I think.
Yes, I
Uh,
remember. I think it's near from Selfos or something like that.
yeah, it's really close to Selfoss and Reykjavik, like half-hour
hmm
drive, or even
Yeah,
like
it is part of the golden circle that you have there.
yeah,
I
yeah. So
remember
it's
that.
really cool to see that. You can also see it close to the international airport. There's another place there you can go and see in between. They made like a
Yeah.
bridge over it.
It's so
Uh,
so interesting that your country is growing like 2 centimeters per year or something like that. But I mean, you have this all of this tectonic activity and also the volcanoes activity that brings
yeah,
new landscapes and new
yeah.
um,
It's
soil, right?
ever changing in some areas.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
that's great. In Chile, in South America, you after these 8 days
mhm.
trekking, you came back to Santiago de Chile, right? And
Yeah.
what happened there? Let's go to the.
So with Diana, uh, we started we started just talking online
Mhm.
right before I started the hiking. Like we were just talking and uh, about all kinds of things. Like in my mind, it was never about dating or hooking up or anything like that. It was just interesting talks and about life and stuff like that. Uh, but I remember like then I started the hike and kind of got like offline because there's no like you can't get any internet or anything for 4 days or something on the hike. But there was always I always felt the need like when I was back into my tent, I always wished I could keep the conversation going, speak to her. Uh, but when I finally got back online, we were talking and the date I knew I would be in Santiago, we decided we should meet up and do something. And I didn't know what to do in Santiago. She gave me like, I don't know, 3 or 4 options. Like we can do this and we can do that, and somehow I picked the hiking, like hiking to Cerro San Cristobal
Mhm.
in the middle of Santiago because I knew like I wanted to go there to see the sunset. I see like because you get such a good view of the city, but I wasn't thinking like my knees and my legs were like done for it after the hike. So I was a little stressed about that, like hiking with her on the first date and limping the whole mountain. But we did it. We met up and
But it's a beautiful first date.
yeah,
Hiking to see the sunset. Wow,
yeah, it's a really good memory. So
that's
yeah,
beautiful.
we saw the sunset there together and went down and found the next restaurant we could go into and had a dinner and then we kind of just wanted to meet up again and again and again. And I went to Chile with a one-way ticket, so I tried to stay there as long as I could. So we stayed together for I think it was 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, like every day. And I even went with her to because she needed a new apartment, and I was going with her to look at new apartments and see if
Uh,
like. But then, kind of like the thought. I was telling her like, yeah, you should come to Iceland to visit. And she was like, yeah, but it's not that like easy for me to go
Yeah.
there and come back. And then so we started thinking about the idea of like, how about you just come and work in Iceland?
Yes,
So
because
that,
for everyone that don't know, Diana, Ali's partners,
yeah,
she works in tourism.
yeah, she has a degree in something that has to do
Yes.
with tourism and hotel and stuff like that. So yeah, we like I think we started talking about it then. Like it was just an idea. But then
Mhm.
after these 2 weeks, I had to go back to Iceland and we started talking every day, like video calls and messages and then yeah, we kind of like got the idea that like yeah, we can do this. Like
Yeah.
we felt that good with each other. Like every conversation was nice and so we found a way. Like we were trying like for her to use her degree to find a job as a specialist because it's easier to get a work visa if you're a specialist and you need to be hired for that. And uh, the plan was to move to south of Iceland if she could find a
Okay.
work there and all that.
Yeah.
But then my mom has like a small tourist company, like travel company, and she was always telling me like, yeah, I need a person to work for me. And I was like, yeah, you need it. Like, and she was always like, no, really, I need it. Like, I was like, okay, that's an option. So I talked to Diana, and she liked the idea, and so we kind of ended up in my hometown.
Wow, it's
Uh,
such a great story.
yeah, yeah, and that's like that's 2 years ago. So she's been here like in May. She has been here for 2 years.
Yes,
And
that is the true meaning of when you are meant to be in a place and with a person, right?
yeah,
Everything
yeah, it
comes together.
kind of just felt right for both of us, I think. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for that. And this brings you to this point to speak of your travel to Venezuela because of
Mhm.
your partner. She's from Venezuela. So you were listening a lot about this country.
Yeah.
Um, let's start by this. Before you visit Venezuela, what was your perception of the country? What had you heard about it growing up in Iceland?
Uh, like before meeting Diana and starting really
Yeah,
to
even, yeah.
study and learn. Uh, I mean, I knew Venezuela was had the Caribbean and the Amazon.
Mhm.
Uh, so in my mind, it was just a I don't know exotic South American country. Uh, but of course, you've heard in the news about the situation that's going on, the political and all that. But I never knew any details about it. Only thing that something bad was happening there.
Mhm.
Uh, so I didn't really know a lot about it. But when I met Diana, like she started telling me about a lot of things in Venezuela and like her growing up there and so she told me about the beaches, the Caribbean, the Margarita Islands and I kind of just took it from there. I was so interested. So I started trying to learn everything I could about the history and how things become like they are and the
Okay.
landscapes and everything. So for me it was really like exciting. Like I do that a lot. Like if I get interesting in something, I just go all in and study. Like it gets kind of obsessive about it. Like, I want to know everything I can. So yeah, that's the only thing like I knew about Venezuela before.
Mhm. Nice.
So,
And how did this idea of you traveling to Venezuela started? I mean, did you wanted to know more about Diana by traveling to Venezuela?
mhm. Yeah, of course, that was like why why I was trying to study everything about it because I wanted to know more about where she came from and what's going on and all that. Uh, for the travel, like first time we met, she said she couldn't go back there. Like it was not in her mind that we would be going there, and I was always studying about it and talking like, oh, did you know this? And have you been there? And somehow kind of uh, I think she saw something like on Instagram or online that people had been going there and having a great time visiting.
Okay.
So it kind of evolved into like she was like, yeah, should we go? And for me, it was like always I always wanted to go there.
Okay,
Um,
well, I will be going with you.
yeah, so like I'm ready. Uh, yeah, so yeah, when we finally decided to go, and we're like, yeah, we should go at this time. It would be perfect time, like for us to go in January because that's like a low season here, and everything is really cold and dark and sometimes storm. So let's get away from that and go somewhere
Yeah.
warm.
Well,
So
I actually mentioned this like internal joke, and it is because people in Venezuela think that if someone brings their partner to Venezuela, it's like they are forcing the people,
yeah, oh,
and
yeah,
they're putting you in danger, and you don't
yeah.
have any responsibilities of traveling by your own
Oh no,
because you are not a grown up and so on.
no,
That is how it works. I don't know why, but
yeah,
when you posted your pictures and so on, Diana received so many comments about people
oh yeah,
telling her you're irresponsible because you bring him and so on. So I'm saying this,
yeah. I
thinking
mean,
about that, and because you wanted to
the,
go, you wanted to travel to
it
Venezuela.
was, yeah. I mean, in the beginning, it was first I was more excited, like when are we gonna go? When are we gonna go? But
Yeah, even though you were aware of the situation because you
uh,
did your research.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, the only thing I was worried about was the police and the something from the government, like not allowing me to enter the country, or it would be a problem about that. But I don't know. Other than that, it was everything was good. Like I was not uh, worried about anything other than the being stopped at the borders or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay, great. And once you arrived, did you feel like experiencing Diana's countries allowed you to understand her more deeply?
Yeah, I would say that because he had told me so much, like about everything around Caracas and the beaches in La Guaira and her family. So for me, like to meeting her family finally and seeing how everybody were like loving and welcoming, and yeah, it was like a different it was a different family structure that than I am used to, but I really loved it and kind of fell in love with the people instantly.
That's nice to know. And how was for you to go to Venezuela? How did you see the country? What did you like the most about it?
Oh wow. Everything was so beautiful and it's so different for me, everything I saw. For me, it was like going to Canaima. It was uh it was so different from anything. I kind of felt like I was in a movie, like everything, like everywhere you looked was so beautiful. And then meeting the indigenous, like the Pemon people,
Hmm.
like and seeing their culture and learning more about their culture. That was yeah, it's really hard to describe the the feeling that that gave. And then of course seeing the ancient waterfalls. Like we stayed there for 2 nights in a camp and always looking and seeing that waterfall like across the river. It was really unreal.
Yeah,
And
it
you know,
is.
it makes you feel really small when the nature around you is so big and yeah, it's wow, like I would do it again.
Yes, I can relate to that feeling of feeling small and your problems feel small when you are surrounded
Yeah,
by
like
that
all of
nature. And
this.
also you were in one of the most ancient mountains and landscapes of our
Yeah.
world. So it's pretty interesting to receive all this energy for the place because
Oh
obviously
wow.
all these places have like their own souls. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I could like seeing the tepuis for the first time, like they're so big. Like you've seen the photos of it,
yeah.
but when you're there, like on a boat on the river and you see it, it I don't know, no photo or anything can describe
Yeah,
how it
exactly.
is.
And the strength of the rivers in there and or of the waterfalls and so on.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well,
Like
it's amazing because even as Venezuelans, most of us don't have the chance to travel to Canaima. So it's interesting to
mhm.
see our
Yeah.
own country through another another person's eyes, and
Hmm.
to value what is ours, right? But
Yeah.
we are proud of our nature,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we are really happy. We as Venezuelan, I remember since I was a child, we were so
Mhm.
excited to receive people from abroad. We were so interested, like, where are you from? And then what do you
Yeah.
do in your country? What is your country like, looks like, and so on. And we still are like that.
Oh
And
yeah.
we are
I felt that.
yeah, we are so curious about it.
Mhm.
And it's really interesting. I hope we can receive many
Oh,
people from around the world to enjoy our country, and
yeah.
you are always welcome to Venezuela, where from our side, right, from
Yeah.
Venezuelans people's side.
Yeah.
Um, so what else did you do in Venezuela? You went to Canaima, you experienced Caracas, and you did something. You went to
Yeah.
shave under a
Yeah.
bridge or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we went around Caracas and like a lot of the times when you go to big cities, you are always like aware of like if there's a danger anywhere or like a lot of people like. But I never felt that in Caracas. Like it felt really safe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, I never thought I would be able to see an Icelandic in an Encaba, which is the bus where you
Yeah.
that you
Oh
take in
yeah, like
Caracas.
oh, it
You were
was
in this Encaba just like I'm local. Do I look like a
yeah,
local?
yeah. I mean, I tried to blend in. I don't know how many people believed it, but you try. But
Yeah.
yeah, like we went around Caracas and I didn't have like to shave my beard or my head when I was there, so we saw some guy under a bridge in the street, and I saw he was doing haircuts, so we asked him if he could
Yeah,
fix
that
my
was
beard.
magnificent.
So yeah, I mean,
That's great.
a lot of a lot of Venezuelans told me I was crazy for doing it, but I don't know why.
Yeah. Yes,
But
yes. And so you went to Caracas, Canaima, and also to Los Roques, which is
oh,
another like
s-
uh, difficult
that's
to reach place in Venezuela
yeah.
for us.
Hmm.
So how
But
was for you to be in the most one of the most beautiful landscapes of the Caribe?
uh, that's like uh, it was kind of perfect, like because like since I was a kid, I've seen photos of beaches like that, like with this clear blue water and uh and white beaches. Like you feel like it's just a fantasy, but then you go there and everywhere you looked, there was beaches like that and water like that, and you're going between small little islands all over, and it was just surreal. Like,
It's like a little oasis or paradise, right?
yeah, it's like, yeah, like the word paradise. Like this is what it means to me. Like this is what I see when I hear the word paradise. It's just Los Roques. It's
Wow, that's nice.
amazing. And
And
I
what
wish.
did your family and your friends said to you when they saw all these pictures and videos that you took about Venezuela?
uh, they thought it was so beautiful and unreal to see this, uh, because I don't I don't know if people have thought much about Venezuela as a destination like this before. But seeing all this like changes people's mind, of course, of like this is really a place to go to. Uh, but yeah, I really really hope more people can experience Venezuela like I did, and
That's
especially
beautiful.
the people of Venezuela. I wish they could go and see. Like everybody should be able to see Canaima and Los Roques and the places of their own country.
Yeah,
So
well,
I really
hopefully.
wish I really wish like there's some change so everybody can experience that.
Thank you. Thank you, Ale. Yes, I remember about speaking of the people, I remember Diana's family receiving you with a welcome
Oh
cake
yeah,
with
yeah.
Icelandic
Oh,
welcome, right? How was it for you?
those those
What
people
did
were
it mean
so.
to you?
It was just beautiful. It's like I like we came into this house and the whole family was there and everybody was so welcoming. Like as soon as we came, uh, I didn't even have the time to be stressed about meeting people. It was just like everything was so loving and amazing. Like I love these people like so much right away, and I really
And
want
you,
to go back to meet them and learn a bit more Spanish before I go there, so we can communicate better.
nice.
Uh, but yeah, then they brought like we had like it was like a arepa party.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, so you learned
uh,
to make arepa.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I like they invited me to the kitchen and then showed me how to do it and the right way to do it according to them. uh, and yeah, and then they made this like they brought this cake where they wrote "Velkomin," which is welcome in Icelandic. So that was also like I did not expect that, but that was really nice gesture from them. Uh, so yeah, like I just love her family right away, and everyone I met, they were so welcoming and yeah, it's a different family dynamic that I'm used to here. Here,
Yeah.
people are more like formal talk, but there everything is about the fun and jokes. So
Yes, it is. It is. Well, you are more than welcome as well to come back to Venezuela
thank you.
anytime you want.
I will
So,
definitely.
if someone asks you to describe Venezuela from your perspective, what would you
Mhm.
say?
It's just uh, beautiful, beautiful places, uh, wonderful people, amazing people. Uh, that's kind of what I noticed the most. It's like everywhere I went, uh, like the people were as interested in me and as I was in the country and everything. So yeah, it was like I mean the landscapes are beautiful and everything is beautiful, but I met so many kind and welcoming people that I think that sticks out. It's the people of Venezuela.
That's beautiful. Well,
Mhm.
thank you for appreciating our country. We
Thank
are
you.
really happy to to see and to know another person perspective, right?
Mhm.
Because even with our situation, it's really hard to see the beauty in our country. I mean, most of
Mhm.
us obviously know about the beauty, but
Yeah,
it's so hard in the day to day from people in
yeah.
Venezuela, living in Venezuela, to see all this beauty. So it's refreshing to receive this
Mhm.
perspective
Yeah.
from another person. So, Ali, what advices would you share with people from all around the world that would like to travel, even to difficult places, right? Like Venezuela.
Just do your research uh, and go for it. It's like you can probably go everywhere in the world you want because there is a there's good people everywhere. Most people are good and probably as interested in you as you are in them wherever you go. You just have to know how to read the situation around you. Like you can't go full on everywhere and like be really like let everybody know you're here. It's more like yeah, just go with it and I don't know, don't be
Yes.
afraid.
That's great advice. Thank you very much, Are, for sharing everything and and be
Yeah,
that
thank you.
open with us and sharing
Thank you,
everything.
Rara.
It is really interesting to to go deep into these topics and to see what is behind a big travel like this and all of the travels that you already made. So thank you very much
Yeah,
for being here today.
thank you. I hope I got the words out right, but but
Yes, yes, you
that
did.
was good. Yeah,
So I
that's
will be
good.
sharing your account. Okay, I will
Mhm.
be putting it in the box description in the
All right.
description. And so well, that's it.
Wow.
Um, I will
That was a
switch
good.
to Spanish.
Yeah.
I will switch to Spanish again. Bueno, gracias a todos los que nos vieron. Esto fue todo por el episodio de hoy. Si les gustó este contenido, no olviden compartirlo, seguirnos en todas nuestras redes sociales como arroba la mente del viajero, también suscribirse en YouTube y estamos disponibles en Spotify. No olviden seguirnos allí también. Quien les habla es Heidi Pérez y nos vemos en un siguiente episodio. Chao, chao.